So in this video we're going to talk about sex linkage. Sex linkage is another type of inheritance which studies the genes that are carried on either the X or the Y chromosome, or if you like, the sex chromosomes. You already know that humans have 23 pairs of homologous chromosomes. This is not true for all humans, because some humans carry 22 pairs of homologous chromosomes, and these humans that carry only 22 pairs are of course the males. The males have only 22 pairs and the females have 23. Why is this? This is because the last pair of chromosomes in females is XX, which means that they have the same shape, they have the same size, and they also control the same characteristics. Therefore, they are homologous. On males though, the last pair that determines the gender, it's not XX, but it's XY. They don't have the same shape, they don't have the same size, and they don't control the same characteristics, therefore are not homologous. Now, what is the difference between the X and Y? X is a chromosome that can be found in all genders, therefore it contains genes that can be expressed in both genders. The Y chromosome, on the other hand, it contains genes that are only expressed in males, for example, testosterone. Now, we can use these genotypes XX and XY, and we can make different cross to see the probability or the chance of two parents having a girl or a boy. What we can do, like the parents, one of course is a female, XX, the other one is the male. Then the gametes here, it's the X, here it's X or Y. We can do our Punnett square, X, X, Y, and you can see here that there is 50-50 if it's going to be a girl or a boy. Now, this is a general thing of how we can use the sex chromosomes to determine the gender of a child. But we can also look at different genes and different characteristics that are located on the X or on the Y chromosome. One common example of a gene that we look at is hemophilia. Hemophilia is a condition where patients cannot clot their blood, or they can clot their blood very, very slowly. So hemophilia, and as you can see here, the capital H stands for healthy, the small h stands for hemophilia. Now, hemophilia is determined by genes that are located on the X chromosome. Therefore, we are going to symbolize them as XH because the dominant gene or the dominant allele is located on the X chromosome, or we are going to symbolize it as the recessive allele that is located again on the X chromosome. Now, if we have a female, we can have three different combinations. We can either have X, H, X, H, we can have X, H, X with small h, or recessive, homozygous recessive. Now, if this is going to be applied now to a male, things can get complicated because males can only get two combinations. Because they only have one X chromosome, and not two, it means they can either have XH with their Y chromosome, which does not carry allele for hemophilia, or they can be XHY. So males cannot be carriers of a disease. You can see here, when a female is heterozygous, she is a carrier for a disease. A carrier means someone that is healthy but carries one faulty gene. Males cannot be carriers of that disease. Either they are healthy or they have the disease because they only have one allele. So now we can do exercises and do different crossing to see how this works. So we continue with hemophilia, and imagine now that we have a female that is a carrier, so she's heterozygous, and we have a male that is healthy. So no hemophilia in this male. If we do the cross here, gametes you can see here the gametes of the mother, and these are the gametes of the father. Now the offsprings, we have to make our Punnett square, one parent on one side, we make our lines, we put the other parent on the other side. Okay, then we make our combination XH, XH, XHY, XH, XH, XHY. What we see here is that we have a female that is 100% healthy. We have a male that is 100% healthy. We have a female that is also healthy, but she is a carrier. And we also have a boy that has or suffers from hemophilia. Usually, boys are more susceptible in inheriting diseases that have to do with the X chromosome. Let me explain this in more details. So, if we put the same example as before, to have a boy between these two parents, it means that the father always must provide the Y chromosome if we are going to have a boy. Now, the boy, though, will have to take the X chromosome from his mother. So the mother will either provide this or this. So therefore, in this case, if the mother gives this, then the boy is healthy. If the mother gives this, then the boy suffers from hemophilia. So it's 50-50. This is not the case, though, in females, because females with this father will never have hemophilia. Why? Because the father will always provide the healthy gene on the X chromosome. Therefore, all the females will have the XH from the father and they will be healthy. Even if they get this from the mother, or even if they get that from the mother, they will still be healthy. So let's do one more example before we finish with this video. Imagine now that I have a mother that suffers from hemophilia and a father that is healthy. Now, the gametes from the mother will be XH, and the gametes from the father will be XH and Y. Now, if we make our Punnett square to make our cross, you will see at the end that all the females will be healthy and all the boys will suffer from hemophilia. So you can see here, XH, XH, that the dominant allele from the father is given only to her daughter. So it means that all of the daughters that this couple will have will be healthy, but because of this allele from the mother, all the boys will suffer from hemophilia. So usually in sex-linked diseases that have to do with the X chromosome, boys are most susceptible because they only have one copy.